welcome to our special chat with the Nestle management. The company just announced its numbers, and while they were, of course, lower than the year-ago performance because of the obvious difficulty that the company went through, especially its product brand Maggi, the company nevertheless has surprised the street, and most of the numbers came higher than street expectations. The market men obviously have given a thumbs up to the stock. With that preface, let me welcome Suresh, the Managing Director of Nestle in India. Good morning, Suresh. Thank you very much for joining me. Well, first up, your numbers itself. I mean, to be fair, your revenues have clearly outstripped the street's performance. Can you give us some idea of whether you can maintain this kind of a run rate, 23 billion rupees kind of a run rate, pro rata in the other quarters as well?
Thank you, Latha, first for having me on your show. Yes, indeed, Latha, for us as Nestle, it has been like the dawn after a very dark night. So we are seeing definitely improvement in our numbers. As you can see, in the last 3 quarters, from about 17.5 billion, we took it to about 19.5 billion of sales, and this quarter has been about 23 billion of sales. So clearly, with the coming back of Maggi and with also the revival of the other businesses, it's clearly moving in the right direction. Now, I am, Latha, very much of a pragmatist. I keep saying this. I don't have a magic wand, but I can tell you in all transparency that the coming quarters will definitely be better than what you have seen. And as I said, this is a new dawn for Nestle coming out of this crisis. I believe we are coming out stronger as an organization. And I believe that this will be, I do hope, with all the efforts from the team and from the partners beyond, it will translate into good numbers for the company.
Okay. Now let me. I'm asking you about a guidance for the future quarters, also because there is a lot of space to grow. Your prepared food segment, that is Maggi and such like, are still contributing only about 15% to your revenues in CY15. They used to be at one point in time 30%. So there is a headroom to grow. Therefore, should we expect that even if not revenues, your EBITDA will be even better than the current quarter's growth rate?
Latha, one thing with all due respects is that really the purpose of my conversation with you is not to really start giving you guidances. We don't give guidances for the forthcoming.
No, Suresh, qualitative. I'm not asking you to give. I'm not trying to tie you to a number.
Sure.
Qualitatively, can it be a better quarter?
I will say that, Latha, and this is not only applying to brand Maggi. I think while Maggi has been at the epicenter of all that we have been talking about in the last couple of months, but clearly there are other categories of the company, whether it is coffee and beverages, whether it's chocolates and confectionery, whether it is milks and nutrition. These are all clearly offering potential for growth. And one of the strategies that I had articulated was that the growth will be across categories. It will not just be unidimensional on Maggi. So yes, there is a headroom to grow, certainly on Maggi. We are back to leadership, as you are aware, Latha, but I think there is a long road ahead. So I don't sit complacent, and neither is my organization complacent with what we have achieved. We are humbly satisfied with where we have come. But I believe that there is a long road ahead, not only for Maggi, but also there are numerous opportunities in some of the other segments as well, which indeed, as you might have noticed in the last couple of months, we have come out with new offerings as well, whether it is, for example, Nestle A+ Greek yogurts, whether it is Nescafe Premium Insta Filter, whether it is Kit Kat Duo or Munch Nuts. I mean, there are new offerings, and I can assure you, Latha, that there is a lot of work on coming up with new offerings in the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, I'm coming to your milk and confectionery products in a minute, but before the specific products, just one more word on the overall numbers, financials. You've come back very nicely on margins. EBITDA margins are back to that plus 20 level, 23-24%. Is there still room to grow, or will competitive pressures put a lid on margins at current levels?
Look, Latha, I think one of the clear strategies that I had articulated on behalf of the Nestle organization was that growth will be privileged. So clearly, we have a strategy of accelerating growth. And I think it is fair to see that with the changing India, with the new exciting and emerging urban classes that we are having, there is clearly an opportunity to accelerate growth. And I think I'm a great believer in the fact that penetration and growing categories involves volume growth. It involves saliencies in terms of innovation, renovation capabilities. It involves being fast, focused and flexible. And I believe that as a consequence of all this, we will be privileging growth. But however, we are also a company that delivers both on top line and on bottom line. So there will be a healthy mix of the two.
Take your point. So the 23 billion number is going to be more important than the 5 billion number, which is your EBITDA number, but both are going to be important. It's only a priority issue. Okay, with that, let me come to the strategy you will use even in terms of pricing and advertising. You know, Maggi is so many people's favorite, even in my newsroom. The product price has been cut. So what's the strategy there? What kind of a volume are you preparing for? What is the strategy behind this price cut?
Fundamentally, I think our offerings, especially the masala, was on the same price that we had it at the time when it was taken off the market. So there's been no dramatic change in that. In atta, of course, we have come in at a keener price point. Now, Latha, what's important to us as an organization is the quality of the offering and the value of the offering. And I believe that price is not the strategy that is going to be at the center of the Nestle competencies. I believe that as a nutrition, health and wellness company, we have a lot of other forces at play, be it in terms of market segmentation, be it in terms of existing categories, more offerings. You know, Latha, that as a company, we have a global cachet of over 2,000 brands. And I think there is therefore an enormous opportunity to play and leverage on those offerings rather than purely having a tactical price play, which after a point in time will not translate into augmented growth, because the consumer will stop seeing value in the brand. I think it is one vector of the marketing dimension that we have, but it is not the only dimension.
Okay. Well, again, it's not just me. A lot of people have been very surprised by your extraordinary margin performance, and especially the sharp decline in other expenses. Would we now see pressure because of higher advertising? This place has become so competitive. So what kind of an advertising scale up can you share with us?
Sure, Latha, I think that's a very good question. I believe that a growth strategy and a penetration strategy will clearly involve a significant uplift, not only in competencies in execution, but also definitely competencies as far as advertising spends are concerned. Now, clearly, Maggi, to take one example, is a brand that has come back, but it has got a long way to grow. So clearly, on brand Maggi, there will be acceleration in terms of the monies that we put behind advertising and sales promotion. In all the other categories where I am looking at new product launches, relaunches, restages, again, there will be quite clearly extra resources that will be put behind accelerating trials and accelerating the saliencies of those brands as we move forward. So overall terms, you can see a far more aggressive, a far more accelerated pace of advertising and promotions from the company.
Okay, you wouldn't want to share a number or a percentage on your A&M spends?
Well, I mentioned, I think, for example, for brand Maggi, it will be anywhere up to 30 to 40% increase, definitely in what we spend. Of course, other categories will depend on what is the kind of competitive intensity and what is the size of the ambition that we have as an organization.
Yeah, actually, even in the other category, actually you start with a bit of a disadvantage, because I can see that your chocolate and confectionery numbers, revenues are actually down-ticking a bit. They're plateauing at, say, about 12 million or thereabouts. 12 became, I think, 11.5 million or thereabouts. I heard you say that you are coming with better products there, Kit Kat Duo, Munch Nuts, all that. So will you be able to turn the corner over there? Over there, you're clearly plateaued lower. So will you be able to increase revenues over there? Any targets you're working with? And over there, will there be even more advertising firepower?
Again, I think the dose of pragmatism in me, Latha, tells you that, look, there is no magic wand in these categories. Quite clearly, the offerings, the introductions that we do today will become hopefully the oak trees of tomorrow. So therefore, there is a lot of building that it involves. We will be seeding these products either on a regional basis or on a national basis. We'll be supporting them, and we'll be looking at building up the next vectors of growth going forward. So there will be no magic that will suddenly happen, but quite clearly the ambitions across categories are strong, are concerted, and are determined, and you will see those efforts translating themselves into reality going forward.
Okay, actually there are a lot of cow milk and cow related products. There are new IPOs also that have listed in that space. You all are doing very well in milk products as opposed to chocolates and confectionery, where perhaps there is a plateauing off. In milk products, you all have been doing very well. Will that be a very big growth area, or even over there are you seeing plateauing?
Look, I think in the milks area, honestly, there will be there is still room for growth, and I think it is an area that involves the core competency of the Nestle organization, be it in terms of our milk sourcing. I think we've got one of the largest private sector sourcing of milk in the country, and I think there are also value-added products that we're talking about in the milks category. So I will choose the domain in which to play, Latha. So it will not be that simply because milk is a large category, therefore we come up with a huge blunderbuss of launches. We will segment those categories, look at the value propositions that Nestle can offer, and indeed there is work on in those. And as you see going forward, there will be launches in this category as well, which will be fairly interesting.
Okay. Yes, I can imagine. Flavored yogurt, I guess, is one of your prime products. So why should you get into cow milk and ghee? I can see the preference that you have. What's the...
Exactly, Latha. Now, for example, you have the Greek yogurt launch Greco.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it is not, the concept is not just to launch another yogurt, but it is a high protein, it is a valorized product, there is a product promise, a technology to it, etc., etc. So that is where Nestle can play.
Okay. Suresh, what's the capital orientation of your parent? Is it that they are wanting to increase stake? Is it that they are wanting to diversify and have more Indian ownership? Anything on the capital rejig that you want to share with us?
Nothing at the moment, Latha. I think it will be in the realm of speculation. Any kind of statement on this. I think at the moment the mandate that I have from the board of directors, and also I think from the parent, is very clearly get back Nestle on track and accelerate the pace of growth that we are witnessing in the country. I think the commitment to India, the kind of focus that we have on India continues relentlessly. We have been here for 104 years, and that will not change, Latha. That will not change.
Okay, Suresh, hold on to that thought. We have to take a quick break. We are back with lots more questions, not just on your numbers, but more on your vision for Nestle in the months to come.